I decided, you know what, I'm going to sell some of my synths that I had. So some of the older synths that I had and things that were probably more higher price, like the Core Kronos and um, a lot of other sort of things like that, a few modes and things. And I sold those to get some money with my severance, and then decided to buy some of the latest gear to make sounds on. And that wasn't quite enough. I also then had to sell my house and then move. So that was to build the funds to go and do it, as an official business. It's not like a sideline or anything like that I don't tell the tax man. It's an official business that I've been doing now 3 years. So I moved back to where in the up north, Blackpool, where I am now, and got an office in a council building, and then started GEOSynths, and I've been doing it ever since.
That is incredible. I have to admit, like I love the entrepreneurial spirit, and I especially love when an artist is able to create and also still be very business savvy. What you just told me and what I've also seen with your show over time, it's it's all characteristic of someone who did take a huge leap of faith, and
Mm.
they took a what some people would consider a bad situation, and they made it into, I assume, a really great one. Like
Yeah,
I
I mean, it was a massive risk, and to a degree still is. There's obviously there's a lot more synths that have come out, which also means a lot more sound designers, and that's great. I'm not hugely into sound designers who have been doing it for years, but they don't do it officially because they just charge peanuts for it. And I don't think I charge a lot anyhow, especially if you think of, say, for instance, a bank of patches could take a couple of months to make. But yeah, it was definitely in 2016. It was 2017. It was a massive risk. Sell your house and all that kind of thing, and giving up video production, which is what I knew about, and then starting something completely new. So, but yeah, it's been all right. It's been good.
and I will say that the content that you put out, the work that you put out is extremely good, and it's very thorough. Something that I've noticed with other patch creators, not to like belittle their work or anything, but for a lot of them, it seems like they find the new trendy synth, they put out some patches, they have the cool YouTube videos so that they can also get the views, bring people to their channel, and then you never hear them talk about this synth again. You never hear them bring up
Mm,
the patches that they've made. Around 2018, I'd say 2018, 2019, I was making a career change,
mm,
and I was looking to incorporate my creativity, music, as much as I possibly could. And having been in retail and then having been in marketing and fintech for so long, I felt that longing to go back to what I was doing before. And I came across the System 8, the OB6, the Prophet 6, even like a couple older synths like the King Korg and so on. And I really wanted to get back into music and hardware synthesizers. The System 8 especially, for me, like that is just such a everything about it. It's so
yeah, it's
beautiful.
brilliant.
I know a lot of people don't like the flashing lights and the four octaves and the plastic, but for me, I look at it and I consider myself a modern musician, and it works for me. Your videos, however, that is what solidified my want for that synth, because not only what you did with the OB6, which was incredible, it really it sounds like you're putting together pieces of music and art to go along with the fact that this is a product that you're selling, but you're showing the full capabilities of this synth.
Mm.
I don't think anyone makes better patches for the System 8 than you. I don't think
Oh
anyone
wow.
makes better patches for the OB6 or the King Korg than you. A lot of people did say the King Korg was, it had its issues or whatever, and it's like, look at the sound. Look at how it
Mm.
inspires you. I love guitar. I would be lying if I said all of my guitars are of the same quality. Some guitars I know that I bought for $300 are nothing compared to my American or my custom shop models, but that doesn't mean that when I pick up that that cheaper guitar, it doesn't inspire me. It doesn't bring me to a different place. And I feel
Mm.
that for a lot of keys players, we tend to look at the capabilities of a synth, and we don't look at how we can expand it and how we can express ourselves through it. But that's exactly what you do with your patches. And just even with the Deep Mind, I don't think anyone showed off the true capabilities of the Deep Mind like you. It's incredible. How do you put yourself in that headspace to really delve deep into a synth and create something that you know others will be as engaged with as you were?
Well, actually, it's well. Hey, thank you very much for that. That's very nice and very kind of you to say. My kind of idea behind sound design is I don't really get. I think if you start thinking about what will people like, you're going down the wrong avenue. I sit and make sounds that I like, and if I make something and I don't like it, no one else is going to get to hear it. So I I've got to like the sound before it becomes part of a sort of bank, because it has to sort of move me. In my mind, they're like mini little tracks. Instead of spending like a couple of weeks or whatever writing a track, I've got a sound, and it's like, yes, that accomplishment you get after finishing a track, it's very similar. It's just a lot quicker. I think I don't do genre specific sounds, because that can, I don't know, it's probably because I don't know all the genres. I just make synthetic sounds that move me, and you mentioned earlier about inspire, and that's what it is. I want people who buy the patches to they'll load it all up, and I know this because I get emails from people, but they'll go, oh, that patch there, I wrote a track with it straight away. And it does it we are sort of, a lot of us, we're inspired by the sound that we hear, and then that kicks off ideas, and that's how it's the jumping off points. I mean, some people are against presets, but at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, presets do sell synths. They do. There's lots of synthesizers in the history who've had sort of not so great presets, and they haven't sold. They've had to then later on get somebody to get some decent sounds out of it. Not that I'd really do anything like that, as in sort of factory patches and then the synth goes out to the world. Everything I pretty much do is third party. I mean, I've been hired by Moog for the Moog 1. I did a bank of classic patches. It was just like 50 patches, and say classic, there were some well-known ones in there. They just did a spreadsheet with a list of tracks that they would like, and then with the Moog 1 you can create 3 different sounds for each patch, if you like. So there was that and innovation, but generally, no, my idea is I sit down and I make if it's, I don't think about it too much. I think, okay, I'm going to do a pad now because I haven't done one for a while or something, and I do lots of pads, of course I do, but it puts me in a kind of space. I like to it invokes sort of imagery and color and that type of thing, and I sort of use that as my guide in I can hear these little sort of my philosophy is keep it moving constantly, even if you can't even perceive it. There might be just an LFO just slightly quivering on the pitch a little bit, or the filter. So that's really kind of my thoughts behind it, but it's purely, yeah, if I don't like it, I'm not one of these that, oh, that'll do. I can't do that. I have to like it.